High in the Alps, behind the snowy peaks, the chalets, the pristine lakes, lies something far more powerful than nature. It's not the army. It's not the government. It's not even the legendary Swiss watches. It's a vault. A vault that doesn't just store money, it stores secrets. For over a century, Switzerland has been the world's most famous banking hub, a country of fewer than 9 million people that became the guardian of trillions in hidden wealth. From dictators and billionaires, to corporations and criminals, everyone came to Switzerland for one reason: secrecy. This is the story of the hidden empire of the Swiss banks, how it was built, how the world tried to break it, and why it still survives in the shadows. Act 1. The origins of secrecy. In the 19th century, Switzerland was poor. No oil, no empire, no coastline. But it had one advantage: neutrality. While Europe tore itself apart with wars, Switzerland stood apart. That neutrality built trust. And trust, in banking, is everything. The turning point came in 1934, when Switzerland passed the Federal Banking Act. For the first time, revealing a client's identity wasn't just bad business, it was a crime. Bankers could face prison if they gave up information. It was the birth of the world's most famous vault. Act 2. Banking in wartime. When World War II broke out, Switzerland's neutrality and secrecy became weapons. Nazi officials funneled stolen gold into Swiss banks. Holocaust victims' accounts disappeared behind vault doors. And when the war ended, much of it stayed hidden. From then on, the legend of Switzerland as the banker to the world was locked in place. Act 3. The golden age of secrecy. In the second half of the 20th century, Swiss banks became a magnet for wealth. African dictators stashed fortunes looted from their people. Latin American drug lords laundered billions in narco-dollars. Corporations quietly hid profits from taxes. Celebrities and billionaires shielded assets from scrutiny. The question wasn't where did the money come from. The question was, how discreet do you want us to be? The overnumbered Swiss bank account, an account with no name, just a code, wasn't Hollywood fiction. It was real. Act 4. The myth of neutrality to the outside world. Switzerland looked clean, peaceful, and incorruptible. But neutrality was also a business model. By sitting on the sidelines of global conflicts, Switzerland positioned itself as the trusted banker of everyone: allies, enemies, criminals, and kings. The empire wasn't built on armies or colonies. It was built on silence. Act 5. Cracks in the system. But silence can only last so long. By the late 20th century, governments began to push back. The United States accused Swiss banks of enabling massive tax evasion. The European Union argued that trillions in hidden accounts were costing them revenues. The scandal that shook the system came in 2007, when UBS, one of Switzerland's biggest banks, was caught secretly helping wealthy Americans hide billions from the IRS. The fallout was huge. Switzerland had to pay billions in fines. And for the first time, the world forced the vault to open, just a little. Act 6. Did secrecy really end? Officially, Swiss banking secrecy laws were dismantled in the 2010s, but unofficially, the empire adapted. Instead of numbered accounts, wealth was hidden behind shell companies, offshore trusts, and freeports. Take Geneva's Freeport, for example. On the outside, just a warehouse. Inside, billions in art, gold, wine, and rare collectibles. Items can sit there for decades, changing owners without ever moving. A vault within a vault. Act 7. The numbers today. Switzerland's banks still manage over $7 trillion in assets. That's about a quarter of all cross-border wealth in the world. This means that a small Alpine nation holds more global wealth than almost any superpower. It is in every sense a hidden empire. Act 8. The cost of secrecy. But who pays the price? For every billionaire legally protecting assets, there are millions of victims who never saw justice. Dictators who robbed their countries, cartels who laundered billions, families whose stolen wealth was quietly absorbed into Swiss accounts. Secrecy made Switzerland rich, but it also enabled the suffering of countless people across the world. Act 9. The future of the empire. Critics argue that Switzerland's dominance is fading. Singapore, Luxembourg, and Dubai are rising as new havens. Technology and transparency agreements make it harder to hide, and yet the Swiss mystique remains unmatched. For centuries, they cultivated an image: men in gray suits, discreet, incorruptible, of the banker who never talks. And even today, silence is a currency. Switzerland still owns. The Swiss banks are not just financial institutions. They are monuments to secrecy. Empires rise and fall with wars, resources, and armies. But Switzerland built an empire on trust and silence. For nearly a century, it has outlasted scandals, investigations, and global pressure. And still, behind those mountains and vault doors, the secrets remain. Because in the end, money moves the world. And those who guard the money, guard the future.